Hello, everybody. Spider here, DeFi Car Podcast once again in San Antonio, Texas. Being joined once again by former flyweight LFA champion Jamie the Brick Flick. Man, how are you, bro?
Hey, man, doing good. Always love coming here and breaking down these LFA fights.
No, but by all means, man, and I appreciate that. Now, I'm gonna go through the prelims just so I can throw them out there, and then we're gonna get into the main card. I know you got to get back to work, but here it goes, man. I mean, as far as the prelims, man, we're gonna start off with Santos Verdinez, 5-0, taking on Gabriel Wanderlei, 5-1. This is going to be an amateur bout at 135. We've got CJ Hayes, 4-2, taking on Anthony Kane, 4-0, 170 pounds at amateur bracket, of course. We got Mike O'Gorman, 2-2, taking on Austin Robinson, 0-1, 145 pounds. This is going to be a pro bout. And I just want to bring up something real quick, man, because I actually wrote this down. But both, I mean, of course, Austin Robinson, Michael Gorman, they come in with a lot of experience, man, of course, through the amateur bracket. We had talked about that before, about how you can't judge a pro record starting off because a lot of guys are coming in with 10 plus fights, man.
Yeah, I'll talk about one of the fighters we have on the pro card. He has over 14 amateur fights.
Yeah, so I mean that's a lot of experience, of course, right? I mean it's something you want to get before you jump into the pro division. But yeah, one up, man. We got Rachel Malik. He's 3-1, taking on Kyle's Bang. Rachel Malik is actually out of Houston, man. I just found that out earlier. I heard about him before, but Texas guy. So looking out for him. This is going to be at 135-pound pro division. We've got Miguel Samson taking on Gonzalo Ponce. Samson, of course, 2-0, taking on 4-4-0 record in Ponce. This is going to be 125 pounds. Another prelim, we got Derek Smith taking on Scott Ritz. This one I'm going to bring up for the fact that I actually interviewed Scott Ritz, and the guy comes from a wrestling background out of Wisconsin. I mean, I interviewed him. I asked him if he kind of felt nervous going into enemy territory. He said throughout COVID, he's been having to fight outside the state because Wisconsin was closed. So he's ready to go, and looking forward to that one, man. But it's going to be in the prelim, 170 pounds. Main card, bro. We're going to start off. Juan Lee, 3-0, taking on Sam Panix. Now, on this one, Sam, of course, coming in 2-1. What can you tell us about this card, man, or this bout?
This is the one actually I was talking about. If you look up Sam, he does have a 2-1 professional record, but he has a 13-1 amateur record. So you see a 2-1 professional record, you think, oh, this is this guy's fourth fight. No, this is this guy's 19th fight. So, or 18th fight, actually. So he's got 18 fight. And then Lee, he's 3-0 as a professional, but he also has a 7-4 AMI record. So that's kind of weird. You got a guy that's 3-0 as a professional fighting a 2-1 professional, but one has a 13-1 AMI record, meaning he dominated, and the other having a 7-4. You would have to go back and look at the competition and the level to see if the 13-1 really adds up to the 7-4 that Lee has. But this is a great matchup to start off the pro card.
No, yeah, and let me ask you, Kang Lee, of course, coming in undefeated, man, 3-0. Pressure, man. Is there a lot of pressure on him to perform on the main card?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got the main card. You're 3-0. You're undefeated. And, I mean, not for sure, but this could possibly be his first televised bout. And you're on UFC Fight Pass. They have, I think last time I checked, they had over 500,000 subscribers, if not more. So it's a great place to be able to showcase your skills and on television. So I think it's a great opener.
No, for sure, man. We're gonna go up on this one. We have T Cummins, 4-1, taking on Dylan Budka, 2-1. Now this is gonna be at 185 pounds. Man, and I'm gonna say this only because of the roster when it comes to the UFC. I mean Usman, of course. I mean he's on top of the division. Now, are you seeing the 185ers moving down to 170 or maybe going up to 205 because of that?
Oh, yeah, I think you see it. There's such a big gap right there out of all the weight classes going up from 125 to 155. There's only a 10-pound weight gap. And then you go from 55 to 70, 70 to 85, and then 85 to 205, which is 20 pounds. And then you have the big gap in the heavyweight cut. So, yeah, I mean, guys, that's got to be hard, because, catch weights really don't help you in your career. unless you're taking it on short notice. So 185, 205, and 170 got to be the three hardest weight classes to find out if they set you real good, you know.
Right.
And these guys, they got a lot of fights. And if you look up T. Cummins, he's 2-0 in bare knuckle.
Yeah, I saw
So
that.
the guy likes to throw hands. He's got a 5-3 amateur record and 4-1 pro record. Dylan's 2-1 as a pro, and he's got an 8-2 amateur record. So just from looking on paper, it would look like T. Cummins is more comfortable on the feet with 2-0 bare knuckle, and Dylan's kind of all over with the 8-2 as an amateur and 2-1 as a professional. So I see Dylan maybe being more well-rounded in this one.
Okay, no, man, that's a good breakdown, man. We're gonna go up one. We got Tyus White, 4-1, taking on Jeff Jepson. Of course, this is gonna be at 125 pounds. Jeff Jepson, 6-3. Tell us a little bit about that one, man.
White is 4-1 as a professional, 4-0 as an amateur. Didn't see any names that really stuck out that he fought. But that's coming up on his 10th fight. That's great. He's 4-1 on LFA mid card. He's fighting Jeff. Jeff fought on my Fisher versus Flick card when I fought for the LFA title. He fought Mondo over there. I still follow both of the guys' careers. I like Jeff, man. He does a lot of yoga. He works out real hard where we were there. I watched him a lot. He keeps his mindset real good. He looks mentally tough. He's 6-2 as an amateur as well, 6-3 as a professional. This guy's got over almost 20 fights. So I think that's a great matchup.
No, I mean, by all means, and that's on the main card. So, of course, title contention maybe, for 125 pounds next time.
Oh, yeah, it's right there, especially with Charles Johnson still waiting to get signed from the UFC. So he might go ahead and break a record and just keep defending that LFA title.
That's true, man. I didn't even think about that one, but for sure. We're going to go up one, bro. On this one, we're going to have Hyder Amil, 5-0, taking on Devante Sewell. Now, Devante, 9-6, of course, taking on a 5-0 undefeated Hyder, man. I mean, tell us a little bit about this bout. It's the co-main event, by the way.
Yes, it is co-main event now since we lost Brown versus Mota. Was a flyweight bout as well. Actually, it's supposed to be bantamweight. Mota is going to go ahead and fight at bantamweight, but he is a flyweight. But Hyder's 5-0 as a professional. I didn't really pay attention to the guys that he fought, but I did notice he was 1-1 as an amateur, which is kind of weird to be 1-1 as an amateur and then go pro, but already be 5-0. So maybe he changed some stuff up. He's got a good training going on, but he's 5-0. He's fighting a very, very active fighter over the years, a guy with a lot of experience. His first loss was actually to that one dude. I don't know, like I flying triangled him, man. What's his name? Cody Turding. Yeah, his first loss was to Cody. And then he also has a loss to Aaron Phillips. That's two decent fighters he's fought as a professional. So he's fought high level guys. Aaron Phillips still in the UFC. I think Cody is too. He has an 8-2 amateur record, and he's 9-6 as a professional. I think he's got a lot of experience on his side, and I think that's going to be a good co-main event.
No, yeah, you see, and the one thing that you mentioned, of course, was Hyder Amil. Was I was thinking maybe he's coming in from a D1 wrestling maybe standpoint. He's coming in with experience, because I saw that and I said, man, that's kind of awkward, man. I don't think coming in with no experience like that. I mean, of course, you're undefeated as a pro, but I don't think that matchmakers would set him up like that. In other words, but yeah, it's going to be the co-main event, of course. Looking forward to it. 145 pounds, and now the main event, bro. This is going to be Thomas the Train Peterson, 5-0, taking on Waldo Cortes Acosta, 5-0. 265-pound weight limit, of course. This is going to be 5-minute rounds for the title. I mean, what can you tell us about this one?
I looked up Thomas Peterson. He was fighting during the COVID thing when I actually fought like the week before I did fight for the LFA title and got a knockout. At 5-0 as a professional, all of his wins are by knockout or TKO. As an amateur, he went 5-0 as well with 1 decision, 1 sub, and 3 KOs. So the guy's been to a decision being 3 rounds. It's only 3 3-minute rounds as an amateur. Big difference from 5 5-minute rounds, and he's a big guy. But he has submissions from everywhere or finishes from everywhere and +1 decision, just not since he's been at the professional level. Uh, his opponent, is it Waldo?
Waldo, yes, sir.
Yeah, he's 5-0, 5-1 as an amateur, and he's been active in stand up and kickboxing and boxing. Uh, didn't get no wins there, but still going outside of his comfort zone if he's an MMA fighter and fighting as well in other sports to stay active. They're both 5-0, and this is going to be a great fight to see who gets the heavyweight title and moves on in their career.
No, yeah, and I got to bring up. I mean, the fact that you brought up his opponent, man, Waldo. He's actually. I see this as a wrestler versus striker kind of match. I mean, maybe. I mean, of course, he did step outside the box. Waldo getting that experience outside of MMA, staying busy. Do you think him going into boxing is better his hands coming back into MMA?
Well, it's hard to say because if you look him up, he lost by knockout, and if you lose by knockout, them gloves are thicker. And now you're coming into 4-ounce gloves, and you're fighting a guy that's got 5 knockouts as a heavyweight. So I feel like going into the fight, he's got to fight very smart. He will probably be looking to get it to the ground early, try to get Peterson tired. But we know what Peterson's coming in to do. And I think it's going to come down to strategies and how Waldo fights in this one.
No, and I gotta ask you because yourself, you come from wrestling. Of course, you know the Thomas the Train coming in with the wrestling pedigree, man. He uses that straight, I guess, jab to kind of close the distance, get the takedown. Do you see that him doing that, fighting a smart fight, should I say, and going for that takedown to finish?
I mean, as a heavyweight, it's very possible because there's certain heavyweights, if you can just get them to the ground, it's harder for them to get up. I
Right.
don't know their builds. Haven't really seen them fight too much. Like I said, I've seen Peterson fight once, and it was like 45-second knockout. He showed up with no cornerman and everything. And So it's hard to say, man. I think because if you get a guy on top and you got that power that they have in the heavyweight division, it's very easy to end a fight.
No, no, definitely, man. Let me ask you this, and I'm going to bring this up because on the LFA128, we went over that card as well. Aaron McKenzie ended up winning the 155-pound title, and I reached out to the guy, so I'm going to be interviewing him hopefully later this week. But when it comes to main events, I mean, of course, on that fight, it was kind of evenly matched. I mean, both guys tend to kind of close, shut each other down when it came to offense and defense. It was a great fight. It's a lot of scrambles. Of course, both were trying to win, man. But I mean, did you happen to catch that bout?
I caught in glimpses of the rounds and stuff. And as I was catching into the 5th round, I did think it was going to come down to a split decision. It was a very good back and forth fight with these guys. And I even said that going into the fight. The caliber of guys they fought to and had lost to was very high level. And I feel McKenzie will be on the Tuesday night contender coming up, or we'll go straight into the UFC on short notice.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you, do you think he has a great opportunity to get called, man?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think he's finished out 4-0 over there in LFA. I could be wrong, but his last 4 fights he's won, including the LFA title.
No, yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I'm looking forward to talk to the guy hopefully later this week. And once again, man, I was gonna plug you in, of course, man. You actually had a gig as a commentator like 2 weekends ago. You had a blast, and of course, you're still looking for anybody out there, right? If anybody's looking for a commentator to hit you up.
Yeah, actually, I think I'm going to be doing one here soon. It's not clinched up, but there's a thing here in Oklahoma we do called what do they call it? Smoking guns, and it's the
Okay.
cops first the firefighters. And I got an opportunity where my name got thrown in the hat, and I'm just waiting to hear back. It's April 23rd here in Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma, at the BOK Center. Big event that they do, raise money for cops, all kinds of stuff, firefighters, and hopefully I'm a part of that. But yeah, if you would like to, please reach out to me. I'm looking to do some commentating, hopefully some ring announcing in the future, maybe some co-ring announcing to, build myself up, make sure I got this stuff down, give the people what they want. Follow me at the Brick MMA on social media, Facebook, Instagram. I'm on Twitter, not too much, but just trying to get my name out there and still working on the book and hopefully have that out by the end of the year.
No, no, definitely. And I was gonna ask you, man, because the last gig that you had, for when you were commentating, when you were watching the fights, man, did you feel anything like, man, I want to get back in there? Was there any sort of like, excitement for you on your own end, or are you done?
Oh yeah, there was a lot of excitement. Not so much to get in there. It was good to see it from my point and to see it from a commentating gig. Uh, I just, I want to scream at the fighters like I'm telling them, like don't do that. Like I get the point to where like, hey, I'm not coaching, I'm commentating. Like so I got to tell the people, not try to tell the fighters. So it's pretty cool, man. It's different for sure.
No, man, but by all means, man, Jimmy the Brick Flick, man, I appreciate you, bro. Once again, we're gonna shut this down, but we're gonna be back, bro. And I'm gonna don't hang up yet. Everybody else out there, go to the Fight Card Podcast YouTube channel. Of course, follow the man on his Instagram, on his www.thebrickmma.com. Till next time, subscribe and follow up.